All right, this is part 2 of the Irregular Preterite notes. So please continue in your Libro de Practica for Chapter 5, and let's finish up these notes. These are the last two groups of Irregular Preterite verbs. All right, group 3 are the spelling changers. The spelling changing verbs have change in the spelling of their stem, but still use regular preterite tense endings. Okay, there are 5 groups of spelling changers in the preterite tense. We are familiar with the first 3. They are car verbs, gar verbs, and zar verbs. So we're really only learning 2 new pieces of information in this section. Those are the ears and the ears. Okay, more about spelling changers. Okay, car verbs. Tocar, sacar, practicar. Again, notice that these verbs end in car, so that's why we call them the car verbs. As we already know, that the C changes to a QU to help us maintain the correct pronunciation of these words. So if we had left the C in the yo form here, the change only happens in the yo form because it falls in front of this E. If we had left the C there, it would be pronounced tose, and we don't want that. We wanted to keep the hard C sound, so it's toke. So in the yo form, the C changes to a QU. In the rest of the forms, it's completely regular. More on spelling changers. Here are our gar verbs. Again, pagar, jugar, castigar. Anything that ends in gar is going to follow this spelling pattern. In the yo form only, the G changes to a GU. And again, it helps preserve the pronunciation. So we have pague, so P-A-G-U-E with an accent. The rest of the forms are completely regular. Our last well-known group are the zars. The zar verbs, empezar, comenzar, casar, anything that ends in Z-A-R. Again, for the sake of pronunciation, the Z changes to a C in the yo form, so it's empecé. Okay, everything else stays exactly the same. All right, our new group of spelling changers. These are the ear verbs, leer, poser, creer, and anything that has E-E-R. In Spanish, we have that issue with if you have too many vowels together, then you get that like E-I-E-I-O sound, and it's really hard to pronounce. So we need a consonant sound in there to help break it up. So on the verb leer, in the top 4 forms here, so leí and leíste, leímos and leístes, we have an accent added to the I in the verb endings. And then in the he, she form and the they form, or the usted and ustedes forms, that I that's supposed to be right here changes to a Y. If it didn't, we would have leío, because in Spanish, every single letter in a word has to be pronounced. And it's too hard to say leío in Spanish when everything just sound really pretty and be really fluid, So we change the I to a Y and we have leyo. Leyo is far more easier to pronounce than leío. And same thing with leyeron. Over here at this, I changes to a Y as well because we want to say leyeron, not leyeron. It's just too much to pronounce. Okay, and so these accent and spelling changes happen with all of these verbs and any other EER verbs. Also, oír and caer follow the same conjugation pattern. They're not EER verbs, but they have 3 vowels together once you start conjugating the verbs. They follow the exact same pattern. All right, our last group of spelling changers are the uirs, so concluir, huir, incluir, destruir, etc. Anything else that ends in U-I-R. Okay, so here is destruir conjugated for you. There are no special accents here. The only accents that we have are the ones in the yo form and the he, she, and that's pretty standard. But in the he, she, and the they forms, the I that goes right here for the I-O with an accent ending in the I-E-R-O-N, the I changes to a Y, again, just so we don't have 3 vowels together. So it'd be too hard to say destruio, so we have destruyo. It's much more fluid. All right, and our final group of irregulars, the special accent verbs. Freír, reír, and sonreír, to fry, to laugh, and to smile. These 3 verbs because of the added vowels here, have some special accentuation to help give us a consonant sound, to help break up all those vowels. So the yo form is standard. You just add the I with the accent. The to form, we add an accent to this I. In the he, she form, we drop this E. There should be an E here if we're following our regular rules of conjugation, but for the sake of pronunciation, it's dropped, and then we keep the accent on the O. We add an accent in the nosotros and vosotros forms on the first I, and then again in the he, she form, in the they form, the usted form, ustedes forms, we drop the E that technically comes right after this R. So that's the big difference there. All right. Please make sure that you have all of your notes and have jotted down all the details that you need so that you are ready for your homework check tomorrow. And we will continue discussing the notes in class. Thank you.